Hi everybody. I just realized today that I'm not going to be in class tomorrow because I have to go to be on another interview team. So I'd like you to watch this video tonight where I'm going to work on problem number 5 from the green 4.4 worksheet. I'm going to do A, C, and E for you in class right now, or on this video right now, and I'd like you to work on B, D, and F for homework. Tomorrow the substitute can go over the answers for B, D, and F to see how you did, and then he'll have an assignment for you to work on out of the textbook. So again, in addition to page 209, which was the originally assigned homework tonight, numbers 1 to 4 and 6 and 7, I'd also like you to work on these problems from the green worksheet, just so we don't lose any valuable time with me out on Thursday at the interview. And then I'll get you all, make sure we're all caught up on Friday in class. So I'm going to go ahead and work on problem A. They want us to solve for x in the quadratic equation x squared plus 6 equals 31. Well, one way to do this problem is by simply doing algebra. We're going to try to get x by itself, so I'm going to take away 6 from both sides. After I take away 6 from both sides, I get x squared equals 31 minus 6 is 25. At this point, we're going to try to undo the x squared. To undo x squared, we're going to take the square root of both sides. So I'm going to square root the x squared and square root the 25. So my answer is x equals, when solving a quadratic equation for x, you're going to get two different answers, plus or minus 5. Positive or negative 5 are both valid answers that would work in this original problem. If we think of it as a graph, you could go ahead and on your graphing calculator, you could graph the parabola x squared plus 6, which would be, this is going to be a basic sketch here. It's going to be an open up parabola that is shifted up 6. You could put that equation into y1. And then in y2, you could put the line 31. Just type in 31, and that's going to produce a horizontal line coming across. The intersection of the parabola and that line would be in two spaces. One when x is negative 5, and one when x is positive 5. Hence the two answers, 5 and negative 5. Okay, next let's do C. Now for C, the order of operations is slightly different. For C, we're going to notice that the x minus 3 is in parentheses, so do not add the 3 to both sides. Do not add 3 to both sides to get rid of that x minus 3. Instead, you're going to start with the square root, take the square root of both sides, and when you square root the quantity x minus 3 squared, all that does is cancel out the squaring. So the square root cancels the square, and you're left with x minus 3 equals the square root of 100. When solving this, you should get plus or minus 10. And we're not quite done. We have x minus 3 equaling positive or negative 10. And here's where we go to that split screen that we talked about earlier in the year. Okay, where you either let x minus 3 equal positive 10, or you let x minus 3 equal negative 10. You're going to solve for both answers. In either case, we add 3 to both sides, and x either equals 13, or x equals negative 7. So those are the two answers that work in that original equation. By the way, you can always test both answers out in your original problem. If you take 13 minus 3, that's 10. 10 squared is 100. So that's a good answer. Negative 7, take away 3 is negative 10. Negative 10 squared is positive 100. So that's a good answer as well. Finally, I'm going to do E for you. I'd like you to do B, D, and F for tomorrow. I'll do E. The order of operations here is you get rid of that minus 5 by adding 5 first. Since it's not in the parentheses, you're free to go in and add 5 to both sides. That'll get rid of that. we're left with the quantity x plus 4 squared equaling 31 plus 5 is 36. At this point, don't go in and subtract that 4. It's under the protection of those parentheses. Instead, take the square root of both sides. The square root of this quantity is what's inside x plus 4. The square root of 36, when solving an x squared equation, is plus or minus 6. Split the screen, just like that. Set the x plus 4 equal to positive 6, and set the x plus 4 equal to negative 6, so we can get both valid answers. Here, our first answer when we take away 4 from both sides is 2, and the other answer when we take away 4 from both sides is negative 10. You could check both of those answers in the original problem to make sure they both give you 31 as the output. So here are my instructions for the substitute for tomorrow. I'm going to let them know that the ones that are circled in pink, I did them on this video for you so you could follow along. And the ones that I underlined in green, B, D, and F, you're expected to have completed in class tomorrow. And he can go over those answers with you on the whiteboard tomorrow, and we'll move on from there. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.